Hey, so we're going to be starting off this week with a little more mikeburnfire. Links to the original video and channel are going to be down in the description below, so go to make sure that you check them out. If this is your first time checking out this channel, a little background on myself. I served in the United States Marine Corps as a Corporal 0311 and served between 2015 to 2019. First deployment, I went to Kuwait, and then second deployment, went back to Kuwait, got to spend some time in Syria, even went on a 4-day mission. It was pretty cool, but enough about me. As far as the anger management goes, I already saw many people in the comments just commented, hey, you gotta check out this video from me. You gotta check out this other video. There's one called Zach Gun Rants, and I really enjoyed the first one that I saw last week. I like that there was a lot of similarities. Like, hey, I remember those moments. I've been through those moments, or I've known people who've gone through those moments that they went through. So it was great to kind of get that connection again, right? And you all seem to love it. You all were saying, hey, you got to check out more videos on them. So it's going to be the second one. I heard this one of those that just kept on popping up. So I was like, I got to watch this. And anger management. Speaking from the Marine Corps side of things, there's a lot of little stories. I've also stories that I've heard or I've seen a couple of my buddies go through. So hopefully something here kind of sparks up a memory and I'm able to establish those connections again, because that felt really good. And more likely than not, it's usually a really damn funny story. So before we get into the video though, don't forget to like, subscribe. It really does help me a lot. Hit that notification button so you get notified every time I do upload. Without wasting too much more time, let's go ahead and get right into the video.
This chief, the one that I had to bring a different beret for, and the one that I had to constantly make sure my boots were polished for, that one was the same one that I got sent to anger management for, because I told him that he was a fuckhead and he would be dead and gone before he would get any of the cabinets that I had.
I'm sorry, did you say cabinets? Were you hoarding cabinets as well?
No, I had done my on-the-job training. I had gone to my actual unit, and the Army, in its infinite wisdom, had decided to send me to a forward support company. The way a forward support company worked is now, instead of having all this expertise that you can pull from a whole shop filled with mechanics or a whole shop filled with armors, you now have one armor. Private First Class Zach.
You were in charge of everything.
Who has spent 3 weeks as on-the-job training. And that's all the experience yet. I had no idea how to fill out the
Okay, so those instances when you get put, because it's going to happen a lot. You're going to get put in a position where if you weren't taught where you were supposed to do or are going to do, you're going to have to do a lot of it by trial and error. Now, when he says stuff like, I have no idea how to fill out the correct forms, and he's probably going to get yelled at for it, right? But in any case, those instances when you just get dropped in, right? Not to mention, he is the only one there. And then, for example, when I went on my first deployment, I was in an MRAP, and I was on a little team that was going to be a QRF, right, for the base, because we were doing a little bit of Sec 4, and then they're telling me, okay, we need a VC, a vehicle commander, we need a driver, we need a gunner, and I think we only had enough for one dismount. Because we had 4 dudes, right? And then eventually we ended up getting a 5th, but when we were trying to decide who got which role, they're like, oh wait, hey, you're the 0311, because at that point I was kicked out of the platoon for certain reasons. Hey, you're the 0311, you've got to know about guns. And I was like, yeah, I was pretty comfortable with the 240. Not so much actually mounting it on top of the vehicle, because I'd never done that, but a couple seconds of just getting the feel for it and whatnot. Also, I don't believe we ever had that little, I don't know what it's called, I forgot what it's called, but it's like that little piece of metal that just locks the gun in place. Otherwise, you got to hold on to the gun, otherwise it's going to pop off when you're going down the road. So they're like, hey, you want to be the gunner? I was like, yeah, sure. Oh, hey, you can also hold on to the radio, right? For when we get called for this little drill where we all have to rush there to the B-dock. And it's like, no, that doesn't make sense. I'm not going to be shooting and trying to go on the radio when there's when you got the VC there, and the VC should be the one with the radio. And like, oh, okay, would you want to be the VC too? It's like, I can't take every job. And this isn't going to be one of those instances where I just take on all the responsibility. I'm not stupid. I know exactly what you're doing, right? So it's like, I'm going to pick one. I'll be the gunner, right? And then I actually looked at the corporal there at the time. Because I was a Lance still. And I told him, hey, you're going to be the VC, just, because you're in a corporal position. And genuinely, I really don't care, because we're probably not going to do anything. The most we're ever going to do is just that little drill, right? We just have to run there, pretend to be ready, and then take off a couple inches in the MRAP. So, kind of like right here, all out of those instances, I was just kind of put in there with that team. And then for the most part, I don't feel like anyone in that team kind of knew what was going on or how to deal with those, like, I guess the situation where if a QRF was called that you would have to go in. And me being the only 0311 within that team, pretty much had to wing it to what I thought was best. Because we never did, I didn't even touch an MRAP when we were back stateside training, right? I had no idea how to drive one of them. I didn't even know how to like set up the gun right at first, right? And it was just a little bit of trial and error. Luckily, we were able to get it down pretty damn quick. So being put in a situation where you have to do this type of stuff, and there's also very many other types of little stories here and there. Like I was given, we were going to the armory to clean weapons, and we had to clean all the weapons because I think they were doing some kind of battalion inspection of them, or some company inspection. And they gave me and a couple of my buddies actual pistols, and they're like, hey, take it apart, clean it, put it back together. And like, I've never touched a pistol in my life. I don't know how to even take this gun apart. I don't know which parts to look at it clean. I mean, I can kind of guess, but situations where I don't know kind of what's going on, right? And then, the situation, I don't know if I mentioned the story before, but it was my first McCree during the workup where we were patrolling at night, and it was those nights where we're going for 2 days all at night, and we're pretty much just doing that for the whole night. Now, I'm turning around. Technically, it wasn't my fault because I was the third guy in our fire team at the front of our squad, and I'm looking behind, looking to my left. I'm seeing my buddy kind of like with his head down, just kind of walking. He's going internal, and then I keep telling him, "Hey, back up," so that way we're not online, and you can actually make sure the guys behind us are following us, right? Because technically that should be your main job, but also I'll look every now and then in case, just to be like a look out backup, if that makes sense. And I'm realizing that, holy shit, the rest of the squad looks kind of far back. So I told my team leader, he said, all right, we'll just slow down a little bit. And I use my little floodlight, right, on my MGs, try to get their attention, like, hey, we're in this direction. And I do it 3 times. And then, which I found out later was my squad leader, did it 2 times back. I didn't know how to put it one more time to signify, hey, I saw you, see me, see you type scenario. So I keep walking. And then all of a sudden, I just hear, stomp, 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 coming up towards me. The squad leader grabs me by the flex, says, who the F is this? And I just think in my mind, like, and just went, Sergeant, I had no idea. In the most solemn voice I could do, I was like, Sergeant, I had no idea what to do in the situation. I was not told how to do this. I just kind of winged it and thought what I did was the best move. I felt like that at least made sense to him, because he just goes, just get out of my face, keep walking. And I was like, aye, Sergeant. I didn't know what to do, but I did the best I could.
Correct forms. I knew how to fix guns. I didn't know how to fill out forms. I didn't know how to get things. I didn't know what kind of parts I was going to need to order.
Okay.
And they basically went, figure it out. So when I got to the company that I was in, immediately.
Wait, hold on. Okay, I know I went off on a long little rant there in the beginning, but when they say figure it out, or figure it the F out, so many instances where they just like, you have to have an answer, or you have to have something, otherwise you're going to get in trouble. I was like, do you want to punish me now, or do you want to punish me later type scenario. Figure it the F out. That was so many times I've heard this, dude. Okay. All right.
There are unit armors coming to me and saying, I need this fixed, I need this fixed, I need this fixed. I have 24 M4s that need to be gauged. I have all these things that are broken, and I need this fixed. And I'm like, cool, I don't have any parts, I don't have any gauges, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm inside this brick building. I had to go through every manual for every weapon that was used by the 6 infantry companies I'm supposed to support. I had to go through every manual, look at every weapon, and go, I'll probably need this part, and I'll probably need this part, and I'll probably need this one. I don't think I'll need this part. I had to guess at all this stuff. So I came up with this massive, and it took me months. I came up with a massive list of parts that I was going to need in quantities of things. I ordered all those parts, and then the parts got to me in cardboard boxes and plastic envelopes. And I have no way to organize these parts. I didn't go to college, yes, when I went into the military. So I have no idea how to organize a whole part system. Anytime someone's like, oh, Zach's so dumb, I'm just like, You have no idea the amount of fucking work I have. That's one of the reasons I'm so lazy now, is because I put everything into doing this stuff while I...
Dude, I've been feeling like that too. I mean, I've been out for 2 years, right? But I'm telling you, when I was in the Marine Corps, I would do everything to the dot. Like, I was very, not motivated to be in the Marine Corps, but motivated in doing just anything in general, or I guess putting more oomph behind everything I did, right? And I guess you do it for so long, and then once you get out, you're like, your body's like, dude, I gotta rest. Like, I think I'm done. I spent all my energy as a youth, because I'm like late 20s now, but I feel like that. Like, I don't necessarily have, I guess, what do you want to call it? Like, drive, or necessarily, you know what, let's say energy. I had way more energy in the Marine Corps than I do outside of it. Now, I don't know, it's because it's in a situation where I'm forced to have that type of energy just to get things done. But, dude, imagining what this dude is going through. Anger, like, if this dude has anger issues, totally understand why. I mean, hell, literally doing all this by himself. At what point did his unit ever think, hey, this guy might need some help? Did they never do that? Because he was saying that it took him months, right, to get all these parts, to figure out what he needed to do. And he kind of had like I said, he had to wing it. And considering the amount of, what do you say? Damn, did he say companies or did he say battalions? I think he said companies. I don't know. My memory has been iffy. But in any case, a lot of people.
I was in the military.
You really had to bust your ass.
I had to, oh my God. It's one of the reasons I started smoking and having really bad anxiety attacks. I don't have PTSD from being in Iraq. I have PTSD from being at Fort Polk and having to run a forward support company by myself. In any other unit, the job I...
Okay, so I've been seeing Fort Polk a lot. I had heard about it when I was in the Marine Corps. I didn't really hear too much on it, but people kept on saying in the comments, 2 words, Fort Polk. And then it's like, okay, I really gotta check something out on this place. I think it was in Louisiana, I think it was. And it probably says PTSD because of being in Fort Polk. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a lot of, I mean, for instance, I hate it when people bang on my door, or any door in general, because, you know, there's flashbacks of seniors trying to get in my room. And I think that might also be a reason why I wanted to go camping for the longest time, but then now I don't really have the want to try to do it, just because I think of, like, being in the field, having someone do fire watch, not getting enough sleep, or like the sleep is actually pretty good out there. But just the fact that you would have to crawl out of your sleeping bag because it's your time for fire watch and it's freezing cold. Ugh. Or like just the moments that you're forgetting something, because especially on deployment, right, you're going to have a rifle on you a lot of the time, if not all the time. I mean, second deployment, we would leave it in the armory over there, but whenever it was out of there, it was always in your possession, or somebody had to watch it, right? And anytime you would come back stateside, and you'd feel like a little bit scared, and damn it, where did it go? But then it's like, oh wait, I don't have to have it anymore. You know, your hands are just like in this little position, right? Because you've been doing that for 6 months. Or instances where I've had a buddy drop his NVGs, or like they were hanging out of his cargo pocket, and it was lucky that he dummy corded them to them, right? And then it was just kind of dangling out. And then ever since then, I don't remember if I put it in my right or left shoulder pocket, but eventually I got a little NVG pouch, which was a miracle for keeping it from just being up against my body. But I would always consistently double tap everything, making sure I always had something. Whenever I go outside the door, I double check it, triple check it. I might have something actually. I check my wallet, check my headphones, check my watch, always make sure everything is there, and I'm always double tapping. Just because of the military. Because if you forgot something, you're going to pay for it in money and physically, right?
I was in would have been a warrant officer position. I was an E3.
Oh, you weren't even an E4 yet. You were just an E3.
I was an E3 holding the position of a warrant officer. I was like, I don't know, I guess I can fix these guns for you, but I mean, really, you're supposed to do this paperwork. And then eventually it got to a point where I was just big, bad, angry Zach, where I was just like, no, you can go fuck yourself, Sergeant. I'm not fixing any of your shit because you don't have the fucking paperwork. So I got all these parts ordered. They sent a bunch of the wrong ones. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with all these parts. They're just sitting in cardboard boxes, and anytime I need to get a part, I have to dig through cardboard boxes until You need a new hammer for your M16? Cool. This is going to take me about 2 hours to find this one because I don't know where the hell it is in this mess. I got so frustrated with having to dig through these cardboard boxes. I'm like, fine, I need cabinets.
Did you purchase these cabinets?
This is where they're coming with the cabinets. But yeah, I mean, I feel like at some point he should have asked for help. I mean, or somebody who's above him, right? Should have been like, hey, I see there's only one of you guys here, aka you. Do you need help? Like the fact that no one even asked. Oh God! Again, understandable why he would be pissed off.
With your own funds? Or?
No, I purchased them with the funds that was allotted to our unit for that fiscal year.
Okay.
I ordered these cabinets. Cabinets get sent to the wrong company. Cool. All right. Well, I have to go get these cabinets now. So I go to sign on a 5-ton truck so that I can go pick up these cabinets.
All right. Ooh, way more involved than I thought.
I feel like I have to tell you all the effort that went into these cabinets so you can understand why I did what I did.
Okay. Once I have the backstory, you refusing to surrender cabinets might make more sense.
Yes. So, I gotta go get a 5-ton to go pick up these cabinets. I go to get a 5-ton. There's no 5-tons available. What do you mean there's no 5-tons available? There's like 25 tons sitting out there. Nope, we don't have a single one that you can drive. Besides, do you even have a permit to drive that? Of course I do. My shop is on the back of one. Why don't you just use the truck that your shop is on? I can't do that because the shop weighs 7.5 tons and the cabinets don't fit in the door of the shop that's on the back of the truck. Well, we don't have any trucks for you to use. Fine. So I walk a mile down to Bravo because if I drive my car down there and I get a truck at Bravo Company, then I'm going to have to drive the truck back and
You walked down to Bravo Company where the cabinets were delivered because you figured maybe they had a truck you could use.
maybe they had a truck I could use. They have a truck.
Hooray!
Thank you. Thank you for being nicer to me than my own company will. Clementine will remember this. I find someone with a forklift to pick up the cabinets and put them in the bed of the truck. I drive the truck back to my motor pool. I bring them outside my office. We don't have a forklift. Now the cabinets have to come off the truck. I had to get like 20 people to help me pick up these cabinets and put them on the ground outside of my shop.
Jeez.
Now I have to figure out how to get them in my shop. They don't fit in the door.
No!
Well, actually, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. They fit in the door, but only if I take all of the drawers out
Okay.
to lighten them up somewhat.
That's better anyway, because you're going to move the cabinet anyway. Why not take...
This is like literally when everything is going wrong. Oh, hey, I will say, this guy does not quit, though. He ordered the cabinets. He's going to get the cabinets. He's going to bring them in. Doesn't matter. You know, he's continuously finding answers, I guess, to try to fix his situation right now.
Take out the drawers.
Take out all the drawers, get the cabinets put in my shop. They got nice little drawers in them, and I can put little things. It's like the inside of a tackle box in these cabinets. You pull the drawer out, and they got a bunch of dividers in there, and you just put the parts in it. If I needed a part, I could look at the list that I had made on my own personal computer, on Excel, on the massive 300-plus page document that listed what the NSN for the part was, what the name for the part was, how many of them I had, and what drawer and slot they were in.
You went so far above and beyond what was expected of you. If you had the chance to go...
Okay, so I'm going to try to make a guess on this part right here. Considering the amount of work he's putting in, right, and a lot of times, like with his laptop, right, using his personal things to be able to do this job, the amount of time that's going in, how much do you think his chain of command is actually going to care? Because, quite frankly, I don't think they would care at all. They'd be like, hey, just get it done, right? And that happens a lot. That happened in the Marine Corps a lot, right? A lot of the times, but they don't see the hard work that gets really put in, especially a lot of times from the guys, like more on the lower level of things. Because I don't know how much time he spent. Since it took him months to get like all the parts and all that written down. I'm assuming he's probably been a year or two at this point. If it's any consolation prize, I appreciate the amount of hard work that he's put in, right?
Go back in time, would you tell yourself not to give so much of an effort? Because you worked your ass off and you never even made the rank of sergeant.
Yeah, if I could go back in time and talk to you past me, I would be like, look, just don't do anything. Brush it off. Maybe if you're lucky, they'll send you to a not forward support company because they'll think you're unreliable.
If you keep working this hard, they're gonna find you irreplaceable. They're never gonna promote you. You're stuck. Be a lazy piece of shit.
I started doing that towards the end of my military career. I just started being a lazy piece of trash, and I didn't care anymore. Anyway.
Pretty much everybody does that, right? And what? It happens after... I mean, as an 0311, it happens like after your second deployment, because by then, you're getting in new guys again. Your current new guys are now going to be considered seniors, and at this point, it's like it doesn't even matter where you deploy to. But once after that happens, right, you've got about, depending on how much time is in your contract, I want to say I had about 6 months, maybe 6 or 7 months. We're not really doing a whole lot of anything, right? And we're going to like a morning formation. That's pretty much it. We're chilling for the rest of the day, and then for the most part, as soon as you were getting checked out, or you had your little checkout sheet, right, and we were getting... I believe once you had your final physical, you weren't allowed to do anything more physically in terms that are Marine Corps related. Because now if you get hurt, it could be a whole bunch of issues. Because technically they're saying that, hey, they got you out of the Marine Corps, even though you're still in a healthy condition, right? Or something like that, right? And for some reason, people were doing this, like 3 or 4 months out before they were going to get out. So you get their checkout sheet and they were doing all this stuff. Which, by the way, is going to be a pain in the ASS when you try to do it. But when we got told that, hey, we're not going to be able to check out until a month before you're getting out, right? So you got a month to get all those signatures, set up all those appointments. Luckily, me and my buddy were able to do that, but it's a rush damn near every single day, just trying to track people down, people that I hadn't even seen that I still needed a signature from. But that's kind of also what started me also kind of becoming a lazy piece of SHIT, right? Because it's like, I've really spent all my energy.
Well, if only you had started earlier.
This is great. I finally have an organization for all my parts.
It only took you 4 weeks to get this set up.
2 months. And then probably another 3 weeks after that, getting all the parts put into all the bins and organized by like size and what weapon system they go to. Top drawers for M9 parts. Second drawers for M4 parts. Next drawers for M4 parts. Drawer after that is M16 and 249 parts. I finally have my full bench stock list on a computer. Everything is available. Someone can come in and say, hey, the spring broke for my M16. And before they're finished with the sentence, I can say, excellent, I have 6 of them. Here is your part. Sign here, here, and here.
And everything will work smoothly like clockwork.
I can't even tell you how happy I was with this setup. And then Chief came into my shop and looked lustfully at my cabinets. And his heart, yea, it was filled with avarice.
Avarice?
Greed.
Ah, yes.
Hey, Hathbeat, open that cabinet.
Give it an accent?
No, that's how he talked. He referred to everyone as high speed and he talked with a really bad lisp.
Oh, okay.
Then the really nice cabinet. Yes, they are, Chief. It took me a long time to get them. I remember I put the order in.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to finally get these in here. Those are really nice cabinets, Hathbeat. I think I'm going to need them. No, Chief, I just ordered these cabinets. I need them. I have all my parts in them. Hathbeat, I'm going to need them cabinets to put Humvee parts in. Humvee parts aren't going to fit in there.
Yeah.
The drawers are too small for Humvee parts.
Mm-hmm.
So it ended up devolving from a conversation of, no, Chief, you cannot have these cabinets. I just ordered these. I need them. Into, Chief, you can go fuck yourself, and I'm going to punch you in the goddamn face if you don't get the fuck out of my shop.
I think maybe we missed a step or two here.
Eventually, it resulted in me calling him an idiot and telling him that he would be dead and gone before he would ever lay a fucking finger on any of my cabinets.
I feel like there might be some fallout from
And he
that.
said, we'll see about that high speed, and walked out. At which point, I grabbed the pencil mount for a...
Okay, I'll tell you right now, this Chief already looks like he's about to snitch. There's so... Oh, my God. Bro, I couldn't imagine, especially the amount of SHIT, YouTube, all the stuff he went through trying to just get these cabinets to do his job. And then just have someone just go... It sounded like Mike Tyson, to be honest. He says, okay, you need those... I can't do the voice. He's going to need those cabinets. And it... Oh, God, dude, the amount... I mean... I was like, I never had that happen to me or a situation like that, because I don't remember a situation where I had something and someone said, hey, I'm going to need those, or you're going to give them to me, right? I don't remember an instance off the top of my head where that happened. Well, the only time I can probably remember is one of my peers had an MRE, and it was the tuna one. And I think a senior had like the pesto pasta. And then he told him to switch with them, even though my buddy didn't want to, but he did. I think that was the only time I've ever seen something like that happen. But I'm positive it happens all the time, and you just don't see it.
A 50 caliber machine gun and threw it through a metal wall locker. I shot putted a 6-pound chunk of metal so hard into a metal cabinet that it punched a hole through it.
So you damaged your own cabinet that you just received?
Oh, no. This was a different cabinet. This was just like a metal wall locker.
Okay. Did anybody see you do this violent act?
Yes. My squad leader came to talk to me, and he said, "You should not have done what you just did."
Wait, what the hell was the squad leader doing? All right, if he had because obviously I don't know, what, being a repairman, like an armorer, right? I don't know. I didn't even know he was a part of a squad, really. I thought he was just kind of by himself. But what is the squad leader doing that he's not sending some help for this guy, or at least in there with him, helping him, or doing, if you have a good squad leader, treasure them. Because you're probably going to get put with squad leaders that don't know how to do their job, and they're just god-awful at doing what they're supposed to be doing.
And I said, "Oh, gee, no shit, you fucking think?"
So you're at that point where you know you fucked up, and you're just wondering, what's happening now?
I had to go talk to the company commander. I got chewed out. When I came back, my cabinets were gone and all my parts were on the floor in cardboard boxes.
Of
again,
course,
So
yeah.
I had to order more cabinets. As it turns out, what happened was better than I ever could have imagined. They sent me to anger management. I got to anger management, and sitting in anger management is a staff sergeant, a captain, a lieutenant, a warrant officer.
I am experiencing some rage for this guy right now. Because, again, we're a branch for this guy, the Army. They get theirs, so you might as well get yours, right? It's making me, it's getting me heated just hearing what this dude went through. And then now he's going to put in anger management, which, I guess it gets him out of the armory. It gets him away from his job for a little bit. And from what I'm saying right now is that all these people in anger management are higher ranking, right?
A major, a staff sergeant,
All
staff
very
sergeant,
high-
a staff sergeant.
These are all very high-ranking members.
These are all people who are much higher ranking than me. And then E4 Zach.
Oh, you had been promoted in between.
Oh, sorry. Was I an E4 at this time? I can't remember if I was an E4 or an E3. So everyone has to talk about why they were there, and it's, "Well, my name's Sergeant so-and-so, and I punched one of my soldiers in the face because he wouldn't stop mouthing off to me." Seems reasonable to me.
Seems reasonable that you would be here. Not reasonable that you would punch one of your soldiers for mouthing off.
If that seems reasonable to me, I can understand that happening. Everyone's going around and talking about what they did wrong. They get to me, and I said, my name is E4 Zach. I'm here because I told my chief warrant officer to go fuck himself and that I thought he was a massive piece of shit. Okay, that's weird. Why is there an E4 in here? While I'm in anger management, someone from my company calls me and asks why I'm not in my shop fixing weapons. And at which point I didn't even reply, I just snapped my phone in half. In anger management. Put the phone down on the table. This is why I'm here. And I just remember several of these other officers just looking at me like, I understand.
Oh my god, dude. What? Dude, communication in the Marine Corps, hell, if it's during training, can be phenomenal. When you guys are just in the daily barracks or anything communication-wise, it sucks. Because one person tells you to do one thing, one is telling you to do the other, and the other tells you to go back to the other one to tell them, hey, no, you're not going to do that. It's like, no. You're not going to run me back and forth. If you guys want to talk to each other, you guys talk to each other. You don't talk indirectly to me to talk to the other. And, in this instance, right, he gets sent to anger management and then gets told, hey, why aren't you fixing weapons in the shop? First of all, this dude's leadership, words cannot describe. I would like to know who they are. Just because a lot of the time, especially when people get out, some people, leave in very many different ways from whatever branch they're coming out of. And I can tell you right now, with with this guy, Zach, it's gonna be like quite a bit of my buddies who gets out very angry, very pissed off, and a lot of times, if not all the time, if someone doesn't re-enlist, it's more like, I want to say like high 95% of the time because of leadership, right? And then obviously when you call out leadership, they just think, oh, you're being disrespectful and whatnot. And it's like, they use, at least from my experience, a lot of higher people in the chain of command like to use, I guess, like a bully, like a kid bully type tactic, right? And it's one of the most annoying things you would probably ever experience in with your time in.
I feel like they said it was anger management, but I'm pretty sure it was a incompetence of Fort Polk support group. It's just where they send the people that can't deal with the incompetence at Fort Polk. They just send them here so they can all just talk to each other about how fucked everything was.
It's good to vent.
I ended up going to anger management for like 4 or 5 months. I have no proof of this, but I'm wondering if when I had told my chief to go fuck himself, if they were like, we've got to kick him the fuck out of the military. And then they went, wait, if we kick him out, we don't have anybody to fix guns. Shit!
And that was the first time that you had job security.
Yeah, I'm 99% positive that I could have gotten away with pretty much anything while I was in the military because
he probably just gets given the golden opportunity here. Considering that job security, right? I would say this would be the perfect time to, like, I guess, skate, right? Or like kind of cruise by the rest of your contract. What are you going to do? Kick you out? Who's going to face the guns? So this has somewhat of a happy ending, somewhat.
I was the only one they had to fix guns.
You never took advantage of this, though.
I did, just in weird ways.
When you started off this story, I figured there'd be a happy ending. You made a spectacle of yourself, damaged some machinery, and he said, whoa, okay, you can keep them, and walked away. No, you had to get new cabinets. You had to order a second pair of cabinets.
Had to order a second pair of cabinets. Fortunately, these ones actually showed up at my motor pool.
Well, that's good, at least.
But I still didn't have a forklift to take them off the back of the truck.
Oh boy, many hands make light work.
Yeah. Well, on the plus side, though, when I would go to anger management, we would do relaxation techniques, and I would get to fall asleep. So sometimes anger management just meant nap time.
Oh boy! I'm glad this story had a happy ending after all.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute. Now, I think I saw this on a meme just recently as well, which kind of reminded me also about what I just heard. Is that, was it, what the military has taught me, or like the best thing the military has taught me, is how to take an L and just going on about my day. Something like along those lines. This is a prime example, dude. It's like, the whole time, I'm believing Zach is in the right? Concerning type of situation he is, he's by himself, he's having to do everything, and then he's just getting told like, hey, I'm gonna take your stuff, right? That you ordered, that you literally had to go to was it Bravo Company, like a mile away, and then come bring that stuff back, and then bring it in, right? Someone just comes, hey, I'm gonna take your stuff, right? Just because it's a higher rank, and then that chief goes and tattletales, essentially, right? And then, God, there's always so much things where it's like, I've heard seniors say this. Some of them had said it to me where they say they're having us like do push-ups, do squats, right? And you know, I'm just saying, hey, technically it's just a workout. But then they say, oh yeah, I bet some of you are probably gonna snitch on me and talk about, oh, he's hazing us. It's like, first of all, no, I'm not a snitch. I'm not gonna do that. Nobody snitched, at least from what I knew. And then whenever it was a scenario like, say, I messed up like a 9-line or something, and then they go, ooh, and then they go to all the little senior buddies, right? As you can tell, there's a lot of anger because this brought up a lot of memories. They start telling all their senior buddies, and now they're the little snitch. But it doesn't matter because it's them and they're a senior, right? Even though they hadn't seen anything combat related, which was technically what my initial impression was that, you know, in any case, that's a whole different story. But one thing I would say, how he went to anger management classes. Now, bear in mind, I'm going to give you a very brief story about my time in rehab. So I went to rehab for drinking, and it was mainly because I had gotten drunk and I had done some dumb stuff, which ended up getting me kicked out of my platoon for a certain period of time, which is the time I usually reference every now and then. And I got to go to a place called Point Loma, and I was there for about 30 days. It was pretty nice. It was like a little vacation, right? And then I don't know how anger management was, because it seems like he did like a out treatment thing where he just does it on base, and he just goes to it like at certain points in the day for like an hour or two. For 4 to 5 months, according to what he said. It offers a nice little break, essentially, right? And it, as bad as it might look, or how others may look at it, take that time to really just relax, right? Because you're gonna be away from chain command, and even the people who are there, like all these high-ranking people, for the most part, from my own experience, when we would talk, yes, because they would get us to talk in little circles, talk about feelings and all that, and then nobody really cared. Like, everybody was no rank, no nothing. We just talked normally. So, treat it like a vacation. Last thing to end the video, because I realized I'm talking a lot more on Mike Burnfire video, just because there's so much. Like, I've been there before, bro. I've been in similar situations. But one instance, and this isn't a story about me. This is a story about a buddy of mine. Two of them, which one of them was a squad leader. The other one was in his squad. Was not put as a team leader, so he was kind of GP. And then just because he would, I guess, not play ball, so to speak, with the squad, and because the squad leader was a kind of a favorite of the platoon, then I would say the company as well. I mean, obviously, being a squad leader, they're going to know you a lot more. But they get into an argument one time when we're in the defense, and it's at night. And all of a sudden, my buddy, because the other guy tried to do one of those things at him, right? Pretend like he's gonna hit him, but kind of like a fake out. And then my buddy just grabs him and pushes him because he thought he was gonna hit him, right? So he pushed him back, and that kind of spiraled into him getting in trouble down from staff sergeant. And he told the staff sergeant literally, "Hey man, I don't try to step on anyone's shoes. I don't try to mess with anybody, and yet I got this happening to me right now." And staff sergeant really didn't care, at least from what I understood, and just gave him all the crappy jobs. He even got to a point where he didn't get a chance to really deploy with us on the second deployment, initially for the first month, because they were telling people, if there's favorites, bro, there's going to be a lot of screwy stuff that goes around. They'll manipulate stuff, right? And they got my buddy to not be able to deploy with us, which I thought was messed up, because they took on someone else who I knew for a fact did not improve physically at all during his 4 years in there, right? Anger management coming up. And because of that, my buddy had to wait. And then once he did get to deploy, because he got to deploy a little bit late still, and then he goes to my room to come, chill out with me and my other buddy. And then this other dude who had gone in the argument with, who was also, I'm pretty sure, was behind him not being able to deploy. He goes up to him and he says, "What's up, man?" And then my buddy just goes, "Don't effing talk to me, man." And then he's got the nerve to, but you'll understand what I'm saying here. Especially when it comes to our higher training command, there's a lot of screwy instances where they're just going to get what they want just because they are in a higher training command. It shouldn't be that way. But you gotta learn, take the L's, and move on with life. And I swear, before the next video, I gotta take a break or something, because I'm so angry for Zach. But I totally understand where he's coming from. In any case, though, that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. Hit that dislike button if you didn't like it. Leave me a little comment to maybe what it was. It really does help me improve the channel. Helps me, help you, help everybody. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.